Hi, I'm Christine and welcome to Art at Home. Today we're going to be showing you how to make art out of plastic bags. Okay, let's get started. So I am from a local nonprofit called Ruckus and we do a blend of art and sustainability. And so what that means is creating art with the health of the planet and the environment in mind. And that's actually why we're working with plastic today, because plastic takes 1,000 years to biodegrade, and it's extremely hard to recycle and it's expensive to recycle as well. So today we're going to get started working with one technique to get creative with plastic, and we're going to actually be using heat to fuse plastic into rigid canvas-like material that you can paint and cut or turn into fun shapes. So let me bring in my assistant. She's going to be helping us just demoing the process of how to create a plastic bag canvas using an iron. So the very first thing that you're going to need to do is to go ahead and get your materials and your tools. So your tools are going to be an iron. We have a pair of scissors, and we have plastic bags. We have about 10 of them, and the type of plastic bag that you're going to want to use is the thicker type. So we have actually 3 types of plastic bags. Some can be very thin and flimsy, and we don't want those for heat. If we're working with heat, we want the thicker kind. So we're going to go ahead and use those types of plastic bags, get about 10 of them, and then you're also going to need some parchment paper and a hard surface to work on. And okay, now that you have all of your materials, let's get started making our plastic bag canvas. So the very first thing you're going to do is take your pair of scissors, and you're going to cut off the handles of the plastic bags. And as Allegra is doing, if you want to save some time, you can cut all of them off together and just cut right across the top. Basically, we just want to be creating a rectangle, a flat sheet of plastic. So she's cutting across the top there, and you can place that stuff to the side. You could save it to use for another project if you'd like. And then you're also going to cut the bottom of the bag off. And then you're going to cut along the sides as well. Great. We are almost there. You could probably just use the ones that, yeah.
Okay, so
yes. Okay. All right, so the next thing that you're going to do is lay your plastic sheets flat and then measure out some parchment paper that's the same size as your plastic sheets. Yep. And then you're going to want to put that then you're going to want to put the parchment paper on either side of the pile of plastic sheets, so sandwiching the plastic in between the parchment paper. And next, you're going to want to get your iron and turn it on. You want to put it to a medium setting and then make sure that the steam setting is off, so no steam setting. And then let that get heated up. It might take a couple minutes. And then you're going to iron your plastic. So we're going to fuse all of the sheets together using the heat. And this whole process might take about 5 minutes or so. So we'll just let Allegra show you how to do it correctly. It's nice to go in smooth, even swipes with the iron. Sometimes a circular pattern is okay too, once it kind of starts heating up and melding together a little bit more. Did you know that even though we put our plastic products in the recycling bin, it turns out that over 90% of them still end up in the landfills or oceans? And that's because plastic is very expensive and hard to recycle. And so the more we can reuse it or not use it at all, the better. because it turns out that plastic contributes to global warming and is also extremely dangerous for wildlife in the ocean. They can mistake it for food and eat it, and then it leads to their death or injury. Okay, so now that you've been ironing for about 5 or 10 minutes, you should start to notice that the plastic bags are fusing together. And so you can carefully check, just be careful to only touch the parchment paper. And you can see that the plastic bags are starting to form one sheet. Then when you flip it over, and it's always good to flip it over just to make sure that it's sticking together on the other side, you can do this side as well and make sure that you just have one cohesive sheet of plastic. And once you've done that, you can let it cool, and eventually it will harden up and become something that you can paint. You can cut into shapes again. Remember, we did these fun coasters. You can cut into these animal shapes that we have here, and we have some on the wall behind us. So there's lots of fun stuff that you can do with this tile. This one has been cut, so we cut the ends off of it to make it a little neater. Also, this one we used scraps of the plastic bag, so that's another way to reuse some of those handles that we cut off before. So lots of fun stuff that we can do with this material. And I just also wanted to mention some safety tips before we go. So always try to do this process outdoors if possible. It's well ventilated outdoors, or just open the windows in your house. Make sure you have a nice breeze going. Make sure to work with an adult since you are using an iron and there's some heat involved. You can wear gloves or a mask if you'd like. And I think that's about it. Just have lots of fun and get creative. And join us for our next video where we're going to be talking about plarn, which is plastic bag yarn that you can cut into strips and you can use to weave all kinds of fun stuff. So thanks for joining, and we'll see you then.